Hey guys, Brissy Tech here, and yesterday my wife and I stopped by our local Fry's in Wilsonville, Oregon, which is just about 30 minutes away from Portland. Anyways, we were kind of just surprised at the lack of product they have. I went in probably around Christmas time just to pick up like a cable extension, and it was pretty barren then, and now it's just gotten worse. Anyways, right now we're kind of walking through the case section, and they just don't really have any cases. And I mean, they do have a few, but there's no like stock. Like if you look underneath the shelves, sorry, I didn't do the best job of recording it, but it's just empty, and they don't seem to sell a lot. Like I can remember going here 10 years ago, and they just had so much, stock on hand, and you could usually get a pretty good deal, like on a return, like where a customer would buy it and not even open the box, and they would have it marked down. Yeah, so it's just really sad. And then kind of, I think in the next hour we're gonna go down, like they have like disc cables and stuff, and more cases. A lot of just empty shelf space where there used to be like case fans and items like that, and they had like a few RGB 120 millimeter fans. That was about it. In this aisle, like you can see more empty shelves. This is like where the power supplies and hard drives were. They just didn't have really any. Like they had 4 or 5 power supplies, and I couldn't even see the prices on them. They didn't even have them marked down. They have like a lot of things that nobody really cares for. See, there's some RGB fans, some like really expensive coolers. That's about it. It's just weird. A lot of accessories. And I think part of the reason is you can get that stuff pretty cheap on Amazon, and Fry's, they had it really marked up. And then like we go down this aisle, they didn't have one motherboard in stock. Like I went and did like an ITX build back in like 2016, and they just had tons of these. Like I picked up like a little, I think it was like the AM1 platform, like low power usage motherboard. And there was tons back then. Like they don't even have like the displays on the wall. They used to have like them zip tied to the wall so you could look at them. I think there's like a Shuttle barebone PC, which I didn't even know Shuttle still made those. Maybe you can find them on Newegg or something.
A bunch of 3D printing.
Anyways, yeah, like more just accessories and stuff. And then it's like other people shopping. They just kind of doing the same thing. Kind of, there's nothing really to look at. And then if you look over here on the left, like where all the desktop memory is, they have hardly any, DIMMs in stock. Like it's just a few odds and ends, and they don't have any really processors either. It's almost like they're just trying to like sell off what they have just before they decide to close. Like I really don't know how they're still open. Here's some like Xbox branded SSDs for like $200. Nobody's buying those, obviously, for that price, especially, And then as we get a little further here, like there's some like ATX power cable extensions, video card, PCI extensions, stuff like that. And just more cables.
They just have like the specialized stuff like no one really
printer
needs.
cables
Like all
and
these
USB cables, phone charge. They have a lot of phone chargers, I've noticed. If you guys have been to one
bunch of phone chargers.
recently, like they have like the phone chargers and like dusted air canisters by the front. So just a lot of stuff like that. My wife was actually looking for a long phone charger for her iPhone, but that's funny because I just said we would probably get one cheaper on Amazon.
You could probably buy you one on Amazon.
Yeah, just a lot of just random stuff, USB cables.
Kind of just like explaining like.
And then now we're getting into, they have a lot of like gaming chairs, but like tons of them. It's kind of bizarre. I mean, I don't know. Do people buy gaming chairs? I just have a cheap Costco chair. I feel like they're kind of gimmicky, but I know some people like to buy them. But anyways, as we get back here, they used to just have tons of like PCs up for display. Like I remember they had like gaming builds and stuff that Fry's would actually put together.
Look at this display.
They just had a few
What would
odds
a
and
monitor like
ends
this?
monitors here.
That's so
I don't even
crazy.
think they had price tags on a lot of these. There's just like one random employee working on a computer. And a few tablets. Another thing that was surprising is they had, like, if you've seen the ads, like they have like refurbished laptops that are a few years old, like old Lenovo like ThinkPads and stuff like that. They had a couple of those. They were
Right,
actually they were quite
like a ThinkPad.
quite
Like that's
older
like
models.
they
I don't
advertise like those are
necessarily
like old
recommend
but
buying those from
refurbished
Fry's because
ThinkPads.
you can
Like
get a
you know,
better deal
like how I bought mine
usually
used.
on like eBay or Amazon from people who like refurbish them
Supposed to be so you
themselves
can
and
browse
sell
the
them.
product online.
Yeah, just more empty shelves.
But see, these are like old
It's just
laptops.
kind of
Like
bizarre.
they're not new.
Maybe they're selling all this
Well, I
They
know.
had
I
a
figured
they had
these
like a
like these
few
are
Mac,
like they get them
MacBooks on
like for
display,
corporate environments.
but
Like
they just didn't
after,
have
like
them
they upgrade. Like when we
in
upgrade,
stock. I mean,
like we
maybe they keep
wholesale
them in the
ours.
back, but I don't
We
know
sell
who's
them to
going
like
to
a wholesaler
Fry's
or whatever, and like they like a
to buy a
refurbisher.
MacBook. I mean, I definitely wouldn't. Then they just back here was like a bunch of like blank CDs and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't really think people are buying, blank recordable media or DVD cases.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're just trying to like sell off everything left they have before they close, but I feel like it's getting to the point where,
It's
like,
just
how
like
do they
bizarre
even
to me.
afford to
Like
keep
that.
the lights
Like are
on?
they
Like,
just
they
like
gotta be paying
fooling
more
themselves or like
each day to keep the lights on than they do
they're
to,
not a publicly traded company. So
like,
it's
they
not
bring
like,
in like in revenue each day to like
yeah, like
pay
they
the
don't
few
have to
employees
release
that they have.
um, like numbers. I don't
It's
know
funny, like
the
like there
appliances and
you see the
stuff, but
signs that say like they match internet prices, but I mean I feel like you'd have a hard time finding something
lots of like toner and
online that they
printers.
have in stock in the store. I know some of the Fry's tend to
Yeah,
be
it's
a little better stocked, but I mean this one they had hardly anything.
iPad screen.
so huge. Like this all looks new.
We
Well,
didn't
these are
walk
all, like,
through.
low-floor
They do
models.
have like a department with like audio systems, like home theaters or like your car. We didn't really walk through there. I think they do still have quite a bit of that stuff left, though. I heard. Kind of getting back to the computer stuff. They had a lot of like
Network
um,
cables.
home networking gear, office networking gear, like punch down blocks and stuff. Like if you're running like Cat 6 through your wall, a lot of cable, but it's all so overpriced. I mean, you can get this stuff on Amazon
I think he's a computer
for a
shop.
lot cheaper, or even like monoprice. They
Oh.
tend to have good
Oh, I
like
don't know, maybe.
consumer grade stuff if you want to run like network cable through your wall.
I have like these all odds and in like little connectors for like if you're like doing like the cables and stuff.
Oh,
Cat
I've
6.
also been to the Renton one up by Seattle. Is the only other Fry's I've been to, but I haven't been there since I graduated college back in like 2012, 2013. I did walk through that one, and I think even then Fry's was starting to kind of slow down. There
Yeah,
just
probably go on
didn't seem to
Amazon,
be a lot
pretty
of people
cheap.
shopping. I'd be interested to hear or see what it's like up there.
Yeah.
I know some of the Fry's have like a cool
Little sleeving kit.
kind of theming. Like I think one's like kind of like a tiki theme or like a jungle theme. I think unfortunately the ones in Wilsonville, Oregon, and then like Renton up by Seattle, they're just your basic big box computer store. I don't know. Here's like a $250 Iron Man
Some of the
robot
stuff they have
thing.
is
I
just,
don't
like,
really
so
know who'd
random.
want that. They sell toys too. It's just random stuff. They have a lot of appliances. I remembered as well.
Like a $250 Iron Man thing.
Kind of getting back over here, like we just had like a lot of like just random computer software, like kind of cheapo versions of like Photoshop and like video editing tools. Right here, we're kind of walking through. They have a bunch of action figures.
Like
there's
some
random stuff.
Barbies.
Like Avenger
Action
stuff, and a lot
figures.
of like movies that just are a few years old now. I think they just need to clearance this stuff, but they don't really tend to mark the prices down too much nowadays. It looks like they have a lot of karaoke machines. I mean, I know some people are into that, but I just feel like they're not selling too many karaoke machines. Let's see, what aisle are we going down now? Okay, here's some like computer software. Like they just had a bunch of casino games.
Full toys. They
Yeah,
have a
here's
bunch
some
of,
office, kind of like office
casino games
software.
or, like outdated like antivirus software.
Bunch of antivirus that's like outdated. I don't think anybody's using AVG nowadays, and if they are,
Okay.
they probably just buy it online. And here we have like the last little bit of like Nintendo and Xbox, PlayStation stuff they had. They just have like a few games and not very many new titles. I did notice that they had like a couple of like the newer Pokemon games in stock. And just like a few PS4 games. I don't even see any Xbox games. They might have had it. I wasn't looking too closely. Like they definitely had like the Xbox section, but here's some of the PlayStation games they had in stock. I guess here's some Xbox stuff. Like they're selling like a lot of the like subscription cards for Xbox Live and stuff like that. And they used to have like a huge movie collection for like DVDs and Blu-rays, kind of over off to the right of where I am now, but they're down to like a few documentaries, I think like music videos and stuff like that. And a lot of cell phone accessories like cases and screen protectors and stuff like that. And they say they sell cell phone plans there, but like if you sign up, you get like a free phone or a discount or something. But I just didn't even see anybody working in the phone section. I just have a hard time, believing they even have someone around that could help set you up with that. Anyways, just hope you guys found this video interesting. I definitely found it interesting walking through the store and just seeing the lack of stuff they have. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe for more content. All right, thanks. Have a good one, guys.